It's inevitable that Bitcoin will not remain a niche collectible for a successful subculture. It will and already has expanded to many demographics and monetary use cases. Professional athletes notorious for reckless financial management have been quietly accumulating their own allocations of Bitcoin. From players on their rookie contract to future Hall of Famers, let's take a look at a few household names diving down their own version of a Bitcoin rabbit hole.
I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
It's Sir Ulric and my signal meter is green. It's because we can see another generation of Bitcoiners rising up to recognize how important it is to separate money from state. I caveat this statement saying it surely won't happen overnight. Most of us came for the gains, and although we didn't know where they came from, we were happy to have them. However, the longer we stay, especially during bear markets, the more we realize this network is literally a monetary, governance, and property revolution, bigger than simply a crypto gambling fad. The individual participants are incentivized to grow it and protect it, knowing that the alternative, fiat currency and a future CBDC, is a highway to hell. Marathon Digital Holdings is a major participant in this revolution as the largest, most advanced publicly traded Bitcoin miner. They trade on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol MARA. Marathon's mission is to enhance the Bitcoin network by sustainably increasing the amount of computational power or hash rate. They are a beacon of Bitcoin's success in the face of traditional finance as the rest of the stock market plays catch up. Even on the precipice of the halving, no mining company is more situated for the next age than this one right here. When it comes to athletes in Bitcoin, offensive tackle Russell Okung started the movement, converting half of his $13 million contract with the Carolina Panthers to Bitcoin via Strike when the dollar exchange rate was roughly $27,000 in early 2021, something he was trying to do for 2 years while he was with the Chargers. Sean Culkin, former Charger and Raven tight end, was going to accept his entire $920,000 contract in Bitcoin with the Chiefs in the 2021 season, but he was released before training camp ever started. Sean has been known to pop up at Swan events in Los Angeles on occasion. It seems to me he didn't need the NFL to scope his financial goals. Saquon Barkley also determined in 21 to allocate all endorsement money he made to Bitcoin. While making the decision at a then near all-time high at 60,000, assuming he didn't listen to the New York Giant fan base taunting him for it, his roughly $10 million annual endorsements would have also bought Bitcoin at 40,000, 30,000, 20,000, and all the way back up. Now Barkley is on an actual football team with the Eagles, richer than he would have ever been listening to New York media, and the Giants are thinking about who to pick in the top 6 in the 2024 draft. Looks like Gotham City has had a run-in with justice. Another former Giant, Odell Beckham Jr., signed for $750,000 for part of the 21 season with the LA Rams. That base salary was converted to Bitcoin through a partnership with Cash App. Of course, that was at the very end of the 21 bull run, ending with the FTX event resulting in a year-long slow pullback in 2022. Fast forward hardly more than 2 years later, and OBJ's investment doesn't look bad at all, especially when he has almost another $100 million in career earnings. The question remains whether he had the patience to let the rough year go and buy the dip, or simply hodl. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing in November of 21, but considering the vagueness of the details, it's likely more so a paid shill from Cash App, much like the Warriors wings Andre Iguodala and Klay Thompson, Jaguars QB Trevor Lawrence with Blockfolio, Pistons phenom Cade Cunningham with BlockFi, all ironically in the same 3-month time frame. None of these stories should surprise anyone. People, very busy, pulled a dozen different ways that are approached to sponsor a popular trend. With crypto at a record high, these companies were more wealthy in November of 2021 than ever, so they decided to pursue more mainstream influential spokespersons, top draft picks, all-stars, people who have loyal, even fanatical attention from millions of eyes. How different is this than many of you who saw Bitcoin on your trusted news sources in 2021? It was making headlines with Elon Musk, China, Jack Dorsey, so you may have decided to get a little yourself. Bitcoin was making new millionaires all the time, might as well be you. Then it crashes. In a return to Culture Corner, this quote is key to separating the wheat from the tares of Bitcoin. There's a saying that goes, bear markets are for building. If this defines you, you are a Bitcoiner. Count it all joy when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your conviction produces perseverance. And herein lies the key. Can you set aside cursory and short-term outcomes to come to a principled disposition? How does this happen for the pro athlete? Again, not that much different than how it should happen for those that watch them on TV. What did you need to stop doing to establish your mindset or reframe your worldview? You probably had to read or consume new material, like the Swan Originals or The Daily Show with Dante. Reducing generic pop culture consumption, increasing self-investment content. Those athletes that spend hours on planes between cities, you can tell the difference between the ones that are taking hold of their future and the ones who are taken hold by their environment. Distractions and aimlessness with their money define this path. These players are a lucrative opportunity to those surrounding them, which leads to the second point, the people surrounding you. If you're truly a Bitcoiner, you know Bitcoin changes you. The laser eyes are a fun way to depict a militant focus on doing your part to bring about a better world for yourself and your loved ones. Everyone around you isn't on that journey and may rather just chill out as this fiat experiment slowly destroys our last 3 generations. This can lead to a breakdown in friendships or business associations. The athlete is no different, as they had to make decisions early to perfect their craft that their teenage friends could or would not follow. First to the gym, last to leave is by definition a lonely road. But it doesn't stop there. As the athlete more understands their money and how to preserve it, they become more self-sovereign. If they believe in their worth like MVP Lamar Jackson does, when no agent will support his vision, what does he do? He becomes self-sovereign and represents himself, only to become the highest paid quarterback of all time and pull another MVP the same season he did it. Does that mean athletes that discover Bitcoin should reconsider their circle of support that chases them away from it? Yes. Agents, managers, and handlers seeking to place their opinion between the player and Bitcoin is like getting in the way of a hungry team with championship aspirations. And you know what Luda says about that. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Bitcoin isn't going to wait for everyone to recognize its potential. Whether you're an athlete or not, that is your time sacrifice earnings at stake. To allow a central bank, a business associate, or a family member to drive you away from preserving your earnings is to leave the door of your home open to anyone that would come in. Whether wealthy or not, we all make decisions regarding this new thing we call Bitcoin based on a number of factors. Sometimes it comes from within, sometimes the right people are surrounding you and you listen clearly. It was my own father that told me over 4 years ago that I need to recognize what is happening in the world and learn about Bitcoin myself. He doesn't repeat himself, so thankfully I listened. I believe that there are many other athletes that are on the path more sustainable than crypto commercial spokespersons. When you look at the likes of Damian Lillard and Darius Garland, they're the types that communicate more than through generic sound bites. These complex and thoughtful individuals have been spotted wearing t-shirts celebrating Satoshi Nakamoto. I didn't know Satoshi had a formal marketing team. That likely means that the choice to wear these outfits came from what they believe is important to them. No commercials, no shilling crypto, just confident in the message they deliver. Very much like the way they play their game, and similar to many popular Bitcoiners as well. And let's not forget NBA champion Matthew Dellavedova. The veteran famously represented Swan Bitcoin while with the Sacramento Kings in the NBA playoffs last year. Delly took it a step further and has been the VP of Business Development with Swan while still involved in international hoops in Australia. When the Bitcoin orange pill hits your gut, your actions can't help but be aligned with the direction this world is heading. My question to you is, if these guys understand the need when they have more than enough money for decades ahead, what the hell are you doing sitting on your hands? Get in the game. Yesterday. I am Sir Ulric like my father before me, and while I may not be 21 years old anymore, don't get it twisted. People know about my game too, and I will throw one down on your head.